Elin Martinez is a senior researcher on children's rights, and she joins us now from London. Elin, good to have you on the show. It's a pretty bleak picture that we just painted, but there is a bit of bright side to this, and that is the United Nations recognizing the 24th of January as the International Education Day, proclaiming the day as education. How do you think this will change things? Is it more of a celebratory day, or do you think it will be really an impetus for more change?
I mean, days like today, the International Day of Education, are really important to underscore and give greater visibility to education globally. Now, global leaders, UN leaders have said that they really want to inject greater resources into education to ensure that all of the different millions of children out of school that you have listed do actually go to school. Governments have 10 years left to ensure that all children are in primary and secondary school through the Sustainable Development Goals. And so what we're doing today is really calling on governments to stop all the measures that are keeping children out of school, namely discriminatory policies, particularly against refugee children, certain groups of girls, particularly pregnant girls, that they invest greatly in education so that the money follows all of their commitments, and that they ensure particularly that children who have been traditionally left out of school, that is marginalized children, children with disabilities, refugee children, do actually go to school.
Statistics are showing that far more children are going to school, which means that literacy rates are going up. But on the flip side to that, you just mentioned some discriminatory policies. We just mentioned the violence that's affecting the children at school-going age. There's also problems like the decline in the standards. How do you tackle these?
Now, I have interviewed hundreds of children in many different countries around the world, and certainly most of them are extremely happy to be in school. Now, we have to be realistic that in many school contexts, children are being subjected to corporal punishment. Many girls are subjected to sexual abuse or sexual exploitation. And many are currently learning in classrooms of over 40, up to 100 children. And so you can imagine that learning environment. Now, there are many measures that can be done. And part of this countdown includes very specific targets for governments to increase the quality of education by providing greater support and training teachers, by ensuring that there are very clear policies that end and where there are consequences where teachers or school officials use corporal punishment or exploit children for whatever reason, and that other measures such as financial barriers, other accessibility barriers, for example, against children with disabilities, are removed. Governments know what they have to do, and so we're hoping that this year in particular, with the 10-year countdown, they will, the UN and other agencies will give greater attention to some of these barriers so that governments do tackle them. Part of this is accountability. Mm-hmm. Governments need to make sure that they are being monitored and that civil society and all actors are able to monitor what is happening in schools.
Let's get to the root of this problem, because education is often referred as humanity's greatest renewable resource. How do you make education for all children a fundamental right?
Well, as we have said today, you must ensure that your laws and policies protect all children, that your government is not discriminating against a particular group of children in your country. And all legislators must be making sure that that is guaranteed at national level. And governments need to increase budgets immediately to ensure that they are catering to all children and ensuring that they are providing quality education. Those would be our top 3 recommendations.
All right, Elin Martinez, thank you very much for joining us here on Cherchi World. I do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.